Number 1, you should have seen the word volume and cylinder. So you go to your star chart to the section titled volume of a cylinder, and this is the formula you should have written down on your answer document. Again, this is a free 100 if you write everything I'm writing. So you should have written pi r squared h. What is the radius of this picture?
It was 9.
Why is it 9 and not 18? You have to divide it by 2 because it goes all the way across the circle. What was the height? 2.9. And so all I had to do was write this formula because they didn't solve it. Pi times the radius squared. Now, why did I put that in parentheses? Because they didn't write the multiplication sign. They put it in parentheses. Times the height, which is 2.9. Now, remember that when you multiply, it does not have to be in the same order. For example, 2 times 5 is 10, and 5 times 2 is 10. So it can be out of order. Were any of these written correctly? Which one? A. Does it have pi times 9 squared times 2.9? Yes, it is just out of order, but that's okay. It does not have to be in the correct order. Any questions? Are we good? Number 2. Number 2 says the volume of a cylinder is equal to the area of its base times its height. If the radius is 10.5 and its height is 4.2, which expression is big B? Now, we know that the volume formula of a cylinder, so I go to volume of a cylinder, is actually B times H, yes? Because it says it right here. But what did we replace the B with? They're only asking about that B. Do y'all understand that? So how would you do this? You would need an R. What was the R? It says the radius is 10.5. So all you had to do was pi times 10.5 squared. Why did I not do the H? Because it didn't ask for the whole volume. It said, how do you find big B? So which answer is correct? A. That is on the test tomorrow. Okay, number 3. Can I move on? Number 3. A ball is shaped like a sphere and has a radius of 4.7. What is the volume? So where do I go on my star chart? I go to volume. I find the word sphere, and I write this formula down. 4/3 pi r cubed. So that check and make sure you wrote the right formula. 4/3 pi r cubed. Everybody's checking their paper. Did they give you the radius? 4.7. So you should have plugged in 4/3 times pi, there's my times, times 4.7 to the 3rd power. So I need my calculator and I need to type that in. So 4/3. Don't write down the wrong formula. Oops, that is not a pi. Times pi times 4.7 to the 3rd power.
You didn't put.
Oh, I sure didn't. 4/3 times pi times 4.7 to the... Why am I struggling so bad? There we go. 434.89. So what was the correct answer? B. Number 4. What type of shape? And did it ask for surface area or volume? All right, so I go to my star chart. I go to volume of a cylinder and I write this formula down, pi r squared h. Check your stuff right now. Everybody sitting up. Did they give you the radius? What did they give you? So what do I have to do to this number? 22 divided by 2 is 11. Did they give you the height? 60. So I'm going to do pi times 11 squared times 60. And there's my answer, 22,807.96. And always just pick the closest answer. Which one's the closest? F. Everybody got it? Guys, this is a free 100, and this is looking like it's the test tomorrow. So please make sure you're paying attention. Number 5. What shape am I looking at? Right here it says cone. And am I finding volume or surface area? All right, so I go to my star chart to volume, cone, write that formula down. 1/3 pi r squared h. If you didn't write it down now. Did they give you a radius? I only heard 2 people. Did they give you a radius? No. How do you know? It goes all the way across the circle. So what do I have to do to this 7? 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. Did they give you a height? 13. Now I simply plug it in to this formula. So 1/3 times pi times radius squared times 13. If you didn't write it now. I go to my calculator and I type it in. 1/3 tab out times pi times 3.5 squared times 13. There's my answer, 166.76. Which answer is the closest? G. Make sure you're showing your work. Okay, number 6. What type of shape is number 6 talking about? A cylinder. It says cylindrical, but that means the same thing as cylinder. Did it ask for volume or surface area? Okay, so I go to my star chart, to volume of a cylinder, and I write down pi r squared h. All right, now I got to go see, did it give me what I need? Did it give me a radius? Yes or no? No. So what do I have to do to this number? Okay, so my radius is 16.5 divided by 2, which is 8.25. What is the height? 19. Now I plug it into my formula and I do pi times 8.25 squared times the height. Pi times 8.25 squared times 19. There's my answer, 4,062.66 or so. So which answer was the closest? G. Okay, we just did a whole bunch of volume, yes? So now what is it moving on to? So let's look at number 7. Number 7, what type of shape is this? But is it asking for volume? What is it asking for? Lateral surface area. So I go to my star chart. This is the biggest mistake students make on the test. Okay, we've been over here under volume, but now I need to go back to surface area of a cylinder. Did it ask for lateral or total? So I'm going to write this formula. If you write this one, your whole thing's wrong. Does everybody understand the difference? So I need to write 2 pi RH. Did they give you a radius? I can't hear you. How do you know? It goes all the way across the circle. So what do I have to do to that 16? What's 16 divided by 2? All right, what's my height? 20. So now I just plug in to my formula. 2 times pi times the radius times the height. Do I square the radius in this formula? No, because the formula doesn't say to. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 times pi times 8 times 20. 1005.30. Which answer is closest? A. Can I move on? We still writing? Number 8. What shape is this? Are they asking for volume or surface area? Total or lateral? So I go to my star chart. Do y'all see how important this star chart is tomorrow? Surface area of a prism. Here's the two formulas. It asked for total, this one right here. So I'm going to write pH plus 2B. What 3 pieces of this formula do I need? I need a P. What else? An H. What else? And a B. All right. How do you find the, what's the first thing I always told you to find? The height. And then do what with it? Okay, so where's the height of this prism? Which number? How tall is it, Sandy? 2. Then I mark it out. So if you're on your computer, you just cover it up where you don't see it, okay? How do you find perimeter of this rectangular base down here? So you would do 7.5 plus 7.5 plus 3.5 plus 3.5. You don't have to write all that down. I'm just showing y'all. Which is 22, yes? Yes or no? So here's my P, here's my H. Now, what does big B stand for? Area of the base. Now stop. A lot of you want to go divide by 2 or multiply by 0.5. This base is a rectangle, yes? So you go to area of a rectangle, and what does it tell you to do? Length times width. Please, please, please remember, it's just length times width. Just multiply those two numbers. 7.5 times 3.5. Which is 26.25. Now that I have my P, H, and B, I simply type it into this formula. So P times H plus 2 times B. There's my answer, 96.5. So which answer is closest to that? Oh, it's griddable, right? So I leave it 96.5. Are y'all good with on the B, you only multiply length times width for rectangles? Are we okay? All right, number 9. What type of shape is number 9? Triangular prism. Did it ask for total or lateral surface area? Okay, so I go to my star chart. Here's surface area, prism, lateral, pH. Write it down if you didn't. Do I even need a B? Nope, I just need a P and an H. Now, I want y'all to think, this one was missing the height, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the height can never come from the triangle. So this is part of the triangle, yes? So that 26 goes here. So if I cover the triangle, what's the height? 30. Will I ever use that again? No. Mark it out. How do you find perimeter of a triangle? Add the sides. There's 3 sides. So you're going to add 26 plus 26 plus 20. Which is what, 72? Yes? All right, now that I have all my pieces, I simply multiply 72 times 30, because that's P times H, which is 2160. So the answer was D. Last question. What type of shape is it? Rectangular prism, and it asks for the, what kind of surface area? So I go to my star chart to surface area. Here's a prism. Here's the lateral, pH. So I need a P and an H. What did I always tell you to find first? How tall is this prism standing? 11. So this 35.6 is the same thing right here, yes? So here's my base right here, and I mark that out. How do I find P? Add up all the sides, so 35.6 plus 35.6 plus 40 plus 40. I go type that in, which is 151.2. Here's my P, here's my H. So I simply multiply them. So 151.2 times 11, which is 1,663.2. So what answer is closest? D. Please remember your goals for tomorrow. Remember that on a CBA, you have certain goals. 45 would be no tutorials, right? A 63 or 64, I can't remember which one it is, would be you meet grade level, and an 86 or higher is you master grade level. We have set each one of you a personal goal, yes? I'll explain. Let me turn this off. Do your absolute best on this CBA tomorrow.